don't know if it's even on right now. I can't see. It should be. It's not. Apparently I can't do this on my own because I can't do Mangalacharan and also keep watching what's going on. So, is it working? Is it on?
It says it's live.
Okay.
But it's not showing up on the computer.
Alright. Dandavat pranam.
Oh, you have to watch it.
No. I've set it up to this. It should work.
Okay, I'm here. I don't see anybody there though.
Okay. Keshav, please watch. It's going on. It's connected to that. It's okay.
No, please sit down.
Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. So we're having some technical difficulty with the internet again. Sudevi's not feeling so well.
I'm fine, I'm here. You can't do it on your own, I'm here.
So we're going to begin Mangalacharan again because I don't like when it breaks up like that. So page 1 of this book, Śrī Gauriya Gītigucha, Mangalacharan, Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Satyavrata Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Dāmodara Śrī Vaishnavāścha Śrī Rūpam Sagrajātam Sahagano Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhukam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagano Vishakhanvikamshta Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Śrī Krishna Līlā Katale Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishtrayuktam Varam Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Nārāyaṇam श्रीपादाश्रितैकहृति चैतन्यलीलामृतसारसार नारायणं त्वं सततं प्रपद्ये नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमः विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशवायति नामिने अतीमर्त्यचरित्राय स्वश्रितानंशपाहिने जीवन्मुखे सदर्ताय श्रीरामप्रेमदायिने नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्णाय सम्बन्धविज्ञान दयिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाभ्या श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिना श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनपालिने रूपानुगम्यरुधाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रारम्भरसम्बोधे पदं पूजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतं सुरतो बन्धो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदम्बोज राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद नित्यमानुस्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भे वंशिरततस्थितः कर्षन्मेनुस्वरगोपी गोपीनाथश्रीस्तुनः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णा भक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिधम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनम् श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् हरे नामेव केवलम् करुणस्त्येव नास्त्येव नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I'm just checking to see if it's still connected.
It's going in and out.
Is it? Still now?
Just what you were having a good
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase.
Thank you.
I don't know what page that is.
32.
So Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase, page 32. If you do not have a songbook, then just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajan along with the translation and the commentaries of our acharyas, if he happens to post any.
It's still doing it.
It's cutting in and out. Is it the picture or the sound? Gurudeva Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase Trinapekhayotihi no Gurudeva Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Sorry, I want to start again. Sorry. Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinape khayoti hino Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinape khayoti hino Sakala sahai balakiya kuru nijavane sprihaniya Sakala sahai balakiya kuru nijavane sprihaniya Kripa bindu diya Trinapekhayoti hino Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinapekhayoti hino Sakale soma korite shakati dehonatha Kabe to gaibo hari namo sukhe Kabe to gaibo hari namo sukhe Aparadha kabe hato Aparadha kabe hato Gurudeva kripa bindu diya Guruye dasi trinapekhayoti hino Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinapekhayoti hino Okaveheno kripa lobhiyaye janu Kritato hoideyato Kaveheno kripa lobhiyaye janu Kritato hoideyato Shakti buddhi amiyoti Shakti buddhi amiyoti Guru more atma sadho Guru more atma sadho Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinapekhayoti hino Gurudeva kripa bindu diya guruye dasi trinapekhayoti hino Ojogya vichare kichu nahi pae tomaro karuna saro Jogyata vichare kichu nahi pae tomaro karuna saro Karuna na hoye kadiyo kadiya Karuna na hoye ठाकुर की जय, श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय। We feel the effects of winter approaching. Now the electricity is not stable like it was because so many persons are turning on their heaters, and the internet, well, that's always a problem. Thakura Vaishnavagana Kuri e Nivedana, page 43. Thakura Vaishnavagana Kuri e Nivedana. Shunyachi sadhu muke bole sarvajan, page 51. Shunyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarvajana Shri Rupa kripayo mile yugala Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pād ki jai. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, page 60 in the songbook. Once again, if you don't have the songbook, just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajans along with the translations. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Jayo Nitai Gaurango Jai Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jai Nitai Gaurango Nitai He Gaura He Nitai He पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय
The internet is very slow. It sounds like you have the...
I hope that's better. Dandavat pranam. Is that better?
It'll take a few minutes to adjust.
Okay. It's...
It'll take a few minutes.
No, I'm just saying it's streaming from this.
Yes, it's better.
Okay.
It's better for everyone.
Okay. Vande Vishwam Bharapata Kamalam. That's page 339 in the songbook. Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Oh, Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Kandita Kali Juga Janamal Shamalam.
Kandita Kali Yuga Janamadashamalam.
Kandita Kali Juga Janamal Shamalam.
Kandita Kali Yuga Janamadashamalam.
Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam. Ushora Bhagadashita Nija Janamadhupam. Varuna Khandito Viraha Vidapam. Vande Vishwam Bharapada Kamalam. Unashita Hridagato Mayatiram. Varani Jagantya Jagatamuchiram. Vande Vishwam Vishwam Bharapadakamalam
Vande Vishwam Bharapadakamalam
Sachidananda Jai Gaura Hari Jai Sachidananda Jai Gaura Hari Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Śrī Satyavrata Gaura Hari ki jai. Now I can check on this one and make sure that it's working from here because that one's going from the other connection again.
Doesn't matter till you start speaking.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, page 343. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Do you want to put the tempura on?
No.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Oh, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Manamanasa madhukaram marvaya nijapada pankajamakarande.
Manasa madhukaram mabhaya nijapada pankajamakarande.
Oh, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Oh, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Yadyapi samadhishu riddhirapi pashyati natavanakhagram marichim.
Yadyapi samadhishu viddhirapi pashyati natavanakadamarichim.
Idam nichami nisham yatavachyuta tadapi kripajuta vichim.
Idani chami nisham yatavachyuta tadapi kripajuta vichim.
Oh, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Hare Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Bhaktivedānta Adhyakti Madhava Natva imam matina matri.
Bhaktivedānta Adhyakti Madhava Natvayi Mamatira Matri.
O Parameshvara Tatadapita Vadhika Durghata Ghatana Vidhatri.
Parameshvara Tatadapita Vadhika Durghata Ghatana Vidhatri.
O Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Hare Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Ayam avilolapayadya sanatana kalita dhutara sabharam.
Nārāyaṇa Sanātana Kalita-dhutara Sabhara.
Onivasatu nityam ihamrita nindini vindana madhuri masaram.
Nivasatu nityam ihamrita nindini vindana madhuri
अनुपम माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. I don't know what page that is. It's in the Hindi section.
Please don't sing it too high.
I'll try my best. 364.
Kishori ji.
अनुपमा माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. रस भरी आँखियाँ हमारे श्याम श्यामा की.
रस भरी आँखियाँ हमारे श्याम श्यामा की.
छवि है अदावा की सुघर सूरत मधुरवतिया. लत कदन की मन बसिया हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. अनुपम माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. मुकुट चंद्रिका माथे अधर पर पान की लाली. ओहो तेरी सी भली छवि पे हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. अनुपम माधुरी जोड़ी हमारे श्याम श्यामा की. परस पर मिलके जब बिहरे श्री वृंदावन की कुंजन में. Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Vrishabhananandini Shrimati Radharani Ki Jai. So Snigdha Devidasi, I see that you said you don't have this. Generally, if you ever come onto this page, you will see that Jiva Pavana Prabhu has posted the bhajan. So scroll to his most recent post and you will find whatever bhajan you're looking for. I don't know if you can see his name there. Jiva Pavana Prabhu, he posts the bhajans. So now we're going to sing Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam because we're continuing with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. And that's on page 290. If you don't have the songbook, then scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Śrī Dāmodara ki jai, Śrī Radharani ki jai. Śrī Radha Vinod Bihari ki jai, Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shalagram Giriraj ki jai, Laddu Gopal ki jai. Page 290, 290. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Was that the 100% one?
I didn't read what it said, it just finished. It just
Okay.
gave me the chance.
I think it was the 100%, so it's fine now. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Namine Vanchākalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitānaṁ Pāvanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Kurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashati Shri Śrīmad Shri Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam, in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashati Shri Śrīmad Shri Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Śrīla Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga, Gauriya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are with us today, I offer you my Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sham.
Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sham. So we're continuing with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, highly recommended reading and study of the beautiful heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam was manifested from his heart, and it was placed in Padma Purana by Śrī Vyas, so you can find it there in Padma Purana. And then, of course, we have the commentary of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad in Sanskrit, and then the commentary on that of our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So it's a commentary, it's a translation with his commentary added within it. And then you have the translation or the commentary of our Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja on their commentaries. So it is full of nectar, a beautiful transcendental treasure with many layers of depth of nectar. And so before entering into this beautiful treasure and examining and studying its contents, we will pray to all of these personalities in the words of Śrī Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairāga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Apayanan Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Buddhiryaparaduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods that are present within these pages manifest itself within our hearts. So we're continuing with our Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja's commentary on the second verse of Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam rijantam karam bhojajugmeno shatam kanetram muhushvasakam patrirekam kakantha stitagraivam damodaram bhaktivadham namamishwaram sachidanandarupam la satkundalam gokule brajamanam. Before I continue, yesterday we did a very beautiful parikrama of Kamyavan, and went to many different locations. Some privately and publicly expressed concern about the very last shot, or the very last scene, where we were surrounded by many very friendly brahmanas and other persons. And then in the very end, a big truck was coming by and everyone started screaming. There was a little dog that went in between, and that's why everyone was screaming, but he didn't get run over. So everyone was just going, hey, 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 like that. And at that moment, we were cutting off. So just so you know, everyone, even the dog, was okay, but the truck driver should learn to drive a little more slowly at night. So I just wanted to let you know that everyone is okay, including the puppy. So, continuing with our Srila Gurudev's beautiful Rasik and Bhavuk commentary on this verse. So yesterday, or the day before, we ended with, before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, bhakti was evident within this world, but not bhakti rasa. So it was very, very difficult to find any semblance of Braja Bhakti in this world. We saw something in Madhavendra Puripad. There he was expressing so much, but it was kept quite hidden. He didn't reveal it to everyone. And so he is said to be the root of the Prema Kalpataru, the tree of Krishna Prem. And the first sprout came in the form of Ishwar Puripad. Madhavendra Puripad had many disciples. Ishwar Puripad was always there, especially at the time of Madhavendra Puripad's departure. He was encouraging him. Don't think about anything else, just remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. Always encouraging him and serving him in every way. And there was another disciple named Ramachandra Puri who was saying, why are you chanting these verses with the mood of Braj and all of this? You should remember Brahm. That means stop thinking about the dualities of this world and just merge your mind with the oneness. Madhavendra Puripad became so furious. He said, get out of here. I don't want to see you. He told Ramachandra Puri to leave. Ramachandra Puri did not understand the heart of his Gurudev and was trying to superimpose a conception which was like hell for someone who is experiencing that bhakti ras. So Ishwar Puripad is said to be the first sprout of that. And who received initiation from Sri Ishwar Puripad? Our Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he went to Gaya, he received Harinam and Krishna Mantra from Sri Ishwar Puripad. So from the root, Madhavendra Puri, to the first sprout, Ishwar Puri, to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became known after that time as Bhavuk Nimai. Before he was like, you can say Nimai Pandit. And he was quite naughty, quite smart, and always defeating everyone in logic. Some of his friends would go to the other side of the road because they didn't want to get into argument with him, where Nimai Pandit would run circles around them and then run circles around his own circles. And he was kind of expressing some kind of youthful pastimes. But after he went to Gaya and met with Sri Ishwar Puripad, through that process of Diksha, Divyam Jnanam Shapayati Iti Diksha. Divyam Jnana means, what is your purpose? What is your goal? What is your aspiration? This will begin to awaken the nature of your soul. And Shapayati means all other things which are not favorable toward the attainment of that goal will gradually be eliminated. So what was the purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Really, it was the purpose of Krishna. Śrī Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrashavānayeva Svadyo Yena Bhuta Madhurima Kidrashavāmadiya Sokyam Chasya Mar Anubhavata Kidrishaveti Lobhat Tadbhavadyam Samajani Shakchikarva Sindho Harindu. So, according to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many, many, many thousands of devotees who have come in the line of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, in Saraswat Gauriya Parampara, through that, don't actually know this. But Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita directly states that the primary reason for Krishna's appearance as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, primary, is to taste the moods of Radhika's love and affection for Krishna. And the second primary reason was due to the call of Advaita Acharya, who is non-different from himself. Advaita Acharya is said to be non-different from Mahavishnu. So when Mahavishnu is calling Krishna to appear, that is in essence himself calling himself to manifest, that is his internal or primary reasons. And the secondary reasons, or you can call it incidental or byproduct, the natural subsequent side effect of him experiencing what he's experiencing for his own internal purpose, is that it was the time for Yuga Dharma to be distributed. What is Yuga Dharma? Harinam Sankirtan. So that matched with that, and also for the benefit of all jivas, Rag Marg Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharam. For the entire world, he wanted to awaken spontaneous love and affection for Krishna, Krishna Prema Pradayate, in the mood, following in the wake of the mood, the bhavs of the Brajavasis. Means the real, original associates of Krishna in Vrindavan, and especially Unata Ujvala Rasang Swabhakti Shriyam. What Rupa Goswami came to give, specifically, that awakening of this mood of Radha Dasyam. This is also what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give, and so Rupa Goswami is glorified as that person who has established in this world the inner heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, from him, actually it is said that it was dammed up as well, and we sang this bhajan today, Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Who broke open that dam? It was full in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Bhakti Ras, Nityananda Prabhu, by his causeless mercy. This is in the next bhajan there. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Abadha Karuna Sindhu Katiya Mohan, Ghare Ghare Bhule Prem Amiyaraman. He broke open that dam, and the flood of Bhakti Rasa went everywhere, even to those who did not want it. And how did that flood go? Through the mercy of his devotees, especially Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who was going from door to door everywhere, begging. He would knock on the door and fall at the feet of those who were residing inside and beg them just once, Bolo Gaura Hari, chant the name of my Gaura Hari and you can purchase me. So by this medium, by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, one was able to receive this mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Bhakti Ras, this complete transcendental nectar of loving service to Krishna in the wake of the moods of the Brajavasis, especially those who are Rupanuga, this began to drown the world by the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before the time of Mahaprabhu, it was not so accessible. It was very rare to find it anywhere. After the time of Mahaprabhu, the great gift that Mahaprabhu gave, Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna Prema, what kind of Krishna? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even when he is there in front of Jagannath, in the temple of Jagannath in Puri, because Mahaprabhu is in the bhav, Radha bhav, of Srimati Radhika, then she is only seeing her Prananath, her Ishtadev everywhere. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita states in no uncertain terms that as he is looking upon Jagannath, actually he is seeing Jagannath from the perspective of Srimati Radhika, who is seeing her own Prananath, her own beloved, Sakshat Rajendra Nandan, directly Rajendra Nandan, Shyamasundar Krishna of Vrindavan. This is who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is seeing when he is looking upon Jagannath. And it is said that he would stand in such a way so that he could because you would have to stand in a certain way. You can see Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, but he would stand in such a way so that he could not see the other two. Because Srimati Radhika cannot fully express her heart to Krishna directly in front of his older brother, Baladev, this just doesn't happen naturally or normally in this cultural context. So one would be very shy, very quiet. Baladev Prabhu knows this, that's why he walks ahead of Krishna with the cowherd boys. When Krishna is going to the forest in the morning with Baladev Prabhu, he goes a little ahead, knowing that some exchange will take place, and he does not want to disturb that. He wants to support that. So, within the sacred text, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compiled, Rupa Goswami, within the sacred text he compiled, especially Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjvala Nilamani. He perfectly delineated the meaning of Bhakti Rasa, describing all of its divisions and subdivisions in full detail. Srimad Mahaprabhu has propagated Bhakti Rasa through his most confidential associates. So if you see the conversations that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has had with different personalities, you will see how he has propagated this Bhakti Rasa. And most of it is written down in the books of our Goswamis, especially Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Also, so much is present in Chaitanya Bhagavat. But also, whatever Mahaprabhu wanted to give came through the pens of our Goswamis. So, what Sanatana Gosvāmī gave through Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita and so many other scriptures, what Jiva Goswami gave through so many different scriptures, what Rupa Goswami gave through so many different scriptures, this is all what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give to this world. So, his confidential associates, Śrī Dāmodara, Śrī Ramananda, Śrī Rupa Goswami, Śrī Sanatana Gosvāmī, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhaktivedānta Thakur, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, my own Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Mahārāja, and others. So now he's calling all of these persons the confidential associates. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was not a contemporary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Neither was Bhaktivedānta Thakur, or Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, or our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Mahārāja, or our Śrīla Prabhupada. They weren't physical contemporaries of Mahaprabhu from our mundane vision, yet they're included among confidential associates. If you read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita or teachings of Lord Chaitanya, you will see in there how our Śrīla Prabhupada has very carefully commented on the difference between confidential associates and other associates. And this confidential associate has a particular kind of relationship, and that is within Madhurya Ras, either as a Sakhi of Srimati Radhika or as a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. They are known as confidential associates. You can find those references there. Excuse me. So now we are continuing with Damodara Leela. Mother Yashoda wound the rope around Krishna's belly, tied him to the grinding mortar, and then went to churn the yogurt. She had to bind him because he was so naughty. So she had to keep him out of the way, busy, tied up to his accomplice, because he used that grinding mortar to help him steal the butter. And he had just broken her pot, and yogurt and everything was spilling everywhere. He tried to blame it on her. Oh, you did that when you were running to save the boiling milk. You kicked the pot with your ankle bell and you broke it. And she saw these little footprints leading into the other room. And there she saw Krishna stealing butter. He didn't see her because his back was to the door. But who saw her? All of the monkeys and the crows that he was feeding. They saw her coming with a stick, and immediately they fled. The crows flew away, the monkeys, and Krishna saw her coming toward him, with a stick, and he thought, oh no. Immediately he jumped off that grinding mortar and he started running out into the street, and to his great surprise, she was chasing him into the street. That wasn't supposed to happen. She was quite hefty, our Gurudev said, and she was chasing him, and as she was chasing him, he was running in a zigzag pattern. First he thought it was fun, and he thought, she's not going to chase me any further. I'm going out of the courtyard into the street. But that day was Diwali day, and everyone was making preparations for the big festival of lamps. She knew it, but he did not. So she had no fear to run into the street chasing after him. And he went, oh no, his eyes grew very big, and he became afraid. And as he was running, he thought he could escape from her, but her love is so great that it overpowers his capacity to run from her. We know that Durvasa Muni, at the speed of mind, could not escape from the chakra of Nārāyaṇa. No matter how fast he was running, he could not escape. But the source of that chakra, the source of Nārāyaṇa, Krishna himself, the original source of everything, Sarva Karana Karanam, that personality was caught from behind by Mother Yashoda, who ran after him with greater speed. Being caught, he was so afraid. His eyes were full of fear, although fear itself is afraid of him. Death itself is afraid of him, and just by the movement of his eyebrows, the sun and the moon and all of the planets in the whole planetary system maintained their movements. Yet he was afraid of Mother Yashoda, and she was holding a little stick. His heart was pounding, he was shaking, his earrings were shaking, tears were flowing from his eyes. He was rubbing them with his hands like this, and because she had always put kajal on his eyes. Why did she put the kajal on his eyes? To ward away against any evil. As he was rubbing his eyes, it became all black everywhere. And our Gurudev was saying that Ganga and Jamuna were flowing from his eyes as she caught him. And he became so afraid, and she raised her stick. Should I chastise you? And he was like, no, 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 mother, no. And then she felt bad in her heart. She didn't want him to be so afraid. So she put the stick down, but she said, still, I must teach you a lesson. Because you have utilized that mortar as your accomplice to steal the butter, and I've caught you red-handed, now I must teach you a lesson. So I will bind you to this mortar, and you can think about what you've done. So that personality, that supreme personality, was caught from behind. Why? Because her love is greater than his. Her love is exclusively one-pointed, ekantik, and his is bahunishta. Means his love is not one-pointed. So she was able to capture, not only capture, but to control and to bind him. So she tied him to the grinding mortar and went to churn the yogurt, her mind remaining on her son all the while. Just then, Dam, Śrī Dām, Sudam, Madhumangal, and Krishna's other sakhas, that means his friends, arrived. So she went back to churn the yogurt, and all of his friends showed up. Mother Rohini also returned to Nanda Bhavan from the house of Upananda. So Nanda Bhavan is the house of Nanda Mahārāja in Gokul. We'll go there later. And Upananda is the elder brother of Nanda Mahārāja. So Mother Rohini had returned to Nanda Mahārāja's house from the place of his elder brother. She came along with her son Baladev Prabhu, who then entered the group of sakhas. So Baladev Prabhu and all of the other little cowherd boys, mind you, they're all quite young at that time. They were all there with little Krishna. When he saw that his little brother was tied up, now this is Baladev, when he saw that his little brother was tied up and that he was crying, he became furious. But what is Baladev's mood naturally? His intrinsic nature is to love and serve Krishna. In every way, he's always serving Krishna. In every rasa, he's serving Krishna. Every particle of his being is made of loving service to Krishna. And here he sees that Krishna is tied up. He became so upset and angry. tears mixed with black cosmetic ointment were streaming from Krishna's eyes. On one side, where the ointment had totally washed away, it looked like the clear river Ganga. And on the other, where his tears were dark from mixing with the ointment, it looked like the blackish Yamuna. So Yamuna and Ganga were flowing from his eyes. Thus the two rivers were cascading onto his chest. Enraged, Baladev Prabhu asked Kanhaiya and the Sakhas, who bound him? Baladev Prabhu thought, whoever has bound my Kanhaiya, I will punish this very day. Then Madhumanga whispered into Baladev's ear, it was Mother Yashoda who bound Krishna. As soon as he heard Mother Yashoda's name, he became silent. Why? Because more than Satya Bhav, what controls Krishna? Vatsalya Prem. So because she bound him, none of those cowherd boys could untie him, and neither could Baladev Prabhu. No one could untie him because she had bound him. If any other cowherd boy had bound Krishna, then Baladev or any other Sakha could unbind him. Or if any cowherd boy bound Krishna, easily Mother Yashoda or Nanda Baba could untie him because their Vatsalya Prem is greater. But if Srimati Radhika had bound Krishna, who could untie him? No one. Because her love is the greatest. So in this case, Baladev Prabhu remained silent. After a few moments, he tried to open the knot. However, he was unable to untie Mother Yashoda's strong knot. This is because the love of devotees in Vatsalya Prem, parental love, is superior to the love of devotees in Sakya Ras, or friendship. Incidentally, now Srila Gurudev is going to give the exception. Had Baladev Prabhu been situated in his Madhurya Rasa form as Ananga Manjari, wherein he is devoted to Krishna in the highest ras, Madhurya Ras, he could have untied the knot. So now we see a hierarchy. What is the hierarchy in Braj? It's only based on the depth of love and affection. So Baladev, as Baladev, cannot untie the knot that Mother Yashoda is doing. But Baladev, as Ananga Manjari, because Ananga Manjari is in Madhurya Ras, can untie that knot. But although the Sakhas, the friends of Krishna, kept working together to untie him, they were not successful. Sri Krishna gradually stopped crying. Even he was unable to set himself free. Come on, the Sakhas told him, we will tip over the grinding mortar and drag it out of the courtyard. Out of the courtyard and play. At that moment, he remembered the incident that occurred long ago between the two sons of Kubera and his dear devotee. And he thought. So the cowherd boys now made it light. Oh, don't worry about that grinding mortar and the fact that you're tied to it. Let's just bring it with you. Let's go out and play and just keep it tied. No problem. So Krishna and the cowherd boys were even beginning to have some fun at that time. And so he began to drag it, but then he remembered at that moment his dear devotee, Nārāyaṇa. Devarshir me priyatamo yadimo dhanadatmajo tattata sadhyashyami yad gitam tam mahatmana. This is in Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10:10-25. Devarshi Nārāyaṇa is my dearmost devotee, or most dear devotee. Therefore, even though these two brothers, the sons of the most wealthy demigod, Kuvera, had no devotion for me, still I must fulfill Sri Narada's words by appearing directly before them and granting them devotional service to me. This is the mercy of the pure devotee. Whatever the pure devotee promises, Bhagavan is bound to fulfill. Now, notice here that he said, although they had no devotion for me. They had no devotion for him. But Narad had cursed them. And as he had cursed them to become like trees because of their disrespect due to their nakedness and their drunkenness, at that moment they fell at his feet and begged for mercy. And what was the mercy? Along with that curse, the mercy is that they would take birth as trees, and Krishna and all of his associates would descend, and that would be the courtyard of Nanda Baba. They would be able to witness all of the sweet pastimes of Krishna, and Krishna himself would liberate them and bestow upon them his causeless mercy in the form of devotional service. Now, Krishna is bound by the words of his pure devotee. That's why Krishna told Arjuna to declare it boldly, that you declare it boldly, that my devotee never perishes. Because whatever the pure devotee promises, Krishna is bound to follow. The temperature is fluctuating in here. Hare Krishna. That is why it is so essential that we take shelter of the pure devotees. Shunya amar duk Vaishnava Thakur amalagi Krishne avedivena prachur. Vaishnavara avedane Krishna doyamoy eheno pamara prati havena sadoy. Seeing our pitiful condition, the Vaishnavas petition the Lord profusely on our behalf. And because they are petitioning him, he will hear that prayer and he will bestow his causeless mercy upon us. So our process is not trying to approach Krishna directly, but somehow or other endeavoring to endear the Vaishnavas to us by our mood of service, by our mood of humility, so that they will petition the Lord on our behalf. Despite our disqualification, we are full of so many disqualifications, and yet, because of their qualification and their petition, we have hope. That is our everything. Somehow or other, taking shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru and the pure Vaishnavas, and by their grace, by their mercy, they will connect us to Krishna. And at the time of initiation, Sri Guru makes the promise to do so, which means not only is it a source of infinite hope for us, but Krishna is also bound by that promise that one day or another, for sure and certain, that connection will be made. It doesn't mean we should be lazy. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Oh, well, it's going to happen anyway one day. That kind of mood can delay that happening one day by trillions and trillions of lifetimes. So our Gurudev, so many times he would say to all of us, just give me this one lifetime. Just give me this one. Any other lifetime, you can do whatever you want. Just give me one. What could he do with that? So he wanted to give us this opportunity, this possibility, from the perspective of that person who is tasting Krishna Bhakti Ras, love and affection for Krishna in praying, divine, transcendental love. One moment of separation feels like millions of lifetimes, millions of yugas. So the idea that we might want to just waste a few million more lifetimes is incomprehensible to them. It pains their heart. How could anyone even conceive of this? So they're desperately running after us, begging us, please take what I'm trying to give you. This will make you happy. As our Srila Gurudev, he said, please be merciful to me and become happy. Chant your Harinam. So the Sakhas told Krishna, come with us, we will tip over the grinding mortar and drag it out of the courtyard. And as Krishna was going with his friends, suddenly he remembered these two sons of Kubera, Manigriva and Nalakubera, who were now in the form of trees in this courtyard, the twin Arjuna trees, Yamal Arjun. So he was remembering the promise or the curse of his devotee, which was actually not a curse, really, but it was mercy. And the other day we were discussing this heaviness, and it's interesting. I believe it was Kishori Didi who wrote something about that's really heavy. This is a heavy curse. How long were they as trees there? How long was it? But yet there was that promise of the pure devotee. So from one perspective, we can look at it as heavy. From the other perspective, we'll see it as the infinite beauty, mercy, and compassion of Krishna's pure devotee. So Krishna was feeling, I must fulfill Sri Narad's words by appearing directly before them and granting them devotional service to me. Kuvera was the dear friend of Devarshi Narad, and his two sons, Kuvera's two sons, were Nala Kuvera, here it says Nala Kuvara, and Manigriva. One day, while they were bathing in the Mandakini, celestial Ganga, with heavenly damsels, their intoxication from being wealthy, beautifully figured, youthful, and of noble birth became further inflamed by drinking wine. So their intoxication, they were already intoxicated. It wasn't just from drinking or taking any substance which increased their intoxication. They were already intoxicated by their Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, and Śrī. Their high birth, their excessive wealth, their education, and their bodily beauty. Kunti Devi says that these four things actually become a disqualification for bhakti because they make one vain, they make one proud. Oh, by my high birth, I can manipulate and control others by my position, by my beauty. Really, it's about everyone glorifying me and putting me in the center. Oh, my high birth. Do you know who I am? This kind of mood. How dare you speak to me like that? This kind of mood with high birth. And then Aishwarya, excessive wealth. Shruta, high education, also makes one proud. And Śrī, bodily beauty, makes it very difficult to focus on Bhagavan. You'll be in front of the deity in the temple, making sure that your hair looks just right, making sure that your clothes look just so, that everyone will appreciate how you move, how you dance, how you do this or that. No one will criticize me. Oh, they will appreciate how I am. So even in front of the deity in the temple, we will still be focusing on ourselves and concerned with how others will be attracted to us. And the worst of the four, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, is Aishwarya, or excessive wealth. Why? Because those who are excessively wealthy, their ego and pride can become so inflamed because they can purchase the services of the others. So those who have a high education or high birth or excessive beauty, you see that even if someone is very demonic by nature, maybe their nature is quite disgusting even, all kinds of sinful activities, very dark, very gross, but still by their excessive wealth, they can purchase the services of the others. This is why it's considered to be the most dangerous. In our scriptures, it is said that excessive wealth can make one's heart wicked. What one might not do otherwise, when excessive wealth comes, they might easily feel the inclination to do so many sinful activities and easily get away with it as well. So these four things are considered disqualifications for bhakti. These two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nala Kuvera, they already had these four disqualifications. They were intoxicated by them. And then on top of that, they were adding another intoxication, which basically enhanced or inflamed the other four. So this created a situation where their pride was enhanced, their egos were enhanced. And when Narada Muni came by, although those beautiful apsaras went and hid themselves in the bushes out of respect for him, those two were quite horrible toward Narada Muni. Hey, what are you doing disturbing us here? Why don't you go somewhere else? Basically, they were like dismissing him. You know, can't you see we're having fun here? They were quite abusive toward him. So, at that time, Devarshi Narada passed by. When the ladies saw that he had come, they hurried out of the water, dressed themselves, and offered him obeisance. But Nalakuvara and Manigriva, blinded by ignorance, did not offer obeisance. In fact, they stood there naked and mused. Where has this person come from? Ignoring the great sage, they shamelessly proceeded to call for the heavenly damsels to return. So they were quite offensive toward him. When Sri Narad beheld the degraded behavior of Nalakuvara and Manigriva, he was overwhelmed with compassion for them. So this is something quite interesting. In this world, those who are conditioned by the material energy, their senses are uncontrolled. Their vacho, their words are uncontrolled. Their mind is uncontrolled. From that, their anger is uncontrolled. Their tongues and bellies and genitals are uncontrolled. And so, all of their, you can say their flaws, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, pride, all of these things are manifesting constantly. When we become angry at someone, we feel furious, rage, and even we might wish ill on others. But a real Vaishnava, they don't actually become angry like that. They actually see our condition, how fallen we are, how degraded we are. And what wells up in their hearts are poor, unfortunate souls, bound in this external conditioning. Their intrinsic nature as a soul is Nitya Krishna Das. They are made to love and serve Krishna. And yet look how they're expressing themselves. They're relishing eating the stool from the cesspool of this material world. And so they naturally melt with compassion. And although on the external, they might give some what appears to be punishment or chastisement, still, it's not really that. The chastisement of the pure devotee is actually mercy. And from that, millions of lifetimes of anarthas are cut. Millions of lifetimes of bondage are cut. And we can actually move forward on the path of bhakti. So here, Srila Gurudev is saying that when he beheld their degraded behavior, he was overwhelmed with compassion for them. Outwardly, from the outside, he feigned anger and shouted a curse. So from the outside, he showed anger. I've seen this with our Srila Gurudev. In one moment, someone would do something that was naughty or nonsense, and he would appear to be so angry. And then that person would be like, they would have learned their lesson. They would go out, and then the next moment, back to normal. Now, whom among us will have that kind of anger in us, and from one moment to the next, we'll be completely happy? That's rare. We'll hold that rage and that anger within us, and it will burn us up from the inside. That's why when Srila Gurudev was speaking to us about this Krodha Begam, we were in Fiji, I don't remember, maybe near Jagannath Prabhu's house. And he was giving a darshan. It was only 5 or 6 of us. And he was telling us about this first verse of Upadeshamrita, speaking about Vacho Vegam, controlling the urge to speak, Manasa Vegam, controlling the urges of the mind. Then he came to Krodha Vegam, the urges of anger. And he just looked at us and he said, don't be angry. He said, those who are pure devotees like Arjuna and Hanuman, they can control their anger and use it in the service of Krishna. But you're too weak. If you become angry, you will just see red everywhere. And even if any Mahabhagavat or pure devotee comes in front of you, you will also burn them with your anger. So don't be angry. Wow. And we can look at our own hearts, feel our own pulses, and see when that anger comes up, how it's all consuming. It consumes us, and it also affects our bhakti. We should be careful of how this anger manifests. Of course, if anyone is going against the devotees or Krishna or the teachings of Sri Guru, anger is necessary, but we should be very, very careful that it does not consume us, especially to the point of just being offensive to everyone, anyone who comes around. So, Narada Muni also feigned, it means he showed externally, showed anger, and he shouted a curse. Your behavior befits that of trees, so be it, become trees. Those who like to hang out naked publicly, according to Shastra, according to scripture, then they can take a birth which befits that kind of nature, and that birth is as a tree. Trees stand naked in public for who knows how long, and everyone can admire them, or how beautiful those trees are, but they're just standing there in a naked form. I don't know if that is what every tree is, but Narada Muni saw that their behavior befitted that of trees. Also very ignorant, so be it, become trees. Upon hearing this curse uttered by Narada Muni, they were filled with fear. Falling at his feet and weeping, they begged for pardon. How can we be delivered? They asked. So this is the right kind of thing to do when Sri Guru shows anger and maybe gives a punishment. So many times we've seen that Sri Guru will show anger and give a punishment, and then that disciple will just be like, oh, and they'll leave the association of Gurudev. They won't fall at the feet of Gurudev and beg for mercy. They won't take it that, oh, Gurudev wants me to shape up and come closer. Rather, they go far away and they're like, oh, poor me. And then later on, you will hear words like, I wish he didn't love me so much. I know he loves me so much, but I wish he didn't love me that much. These kinds of things. But the whole point of that is that we will realize, oh my God, I have done something wrong. Let me take shelter. If Guru is our foundation and Guru is showing some anger, we should have nowhere else to go. Guru is our floor. And if we hit the lowest point, we will only be able to take shelter of Sri Guru, nowhere else. That's why Gurudev said, for those who were with him for a long time, his brahmacharis, he said, I know that even if I beat them bitterly, still they will never leave me. So to have that kind of nishta or conviction that I have no other shelter, I have nowhere else to go, you are my everything. This also is a training in essence for Krishna Bhakti. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the last verse of Śrī Satyavrata, you can do whatever you like with me. You can beat me, you can kick me away, you can embrace me. I am yours, and there is no condition. So, Guru also sometimes expresses things, but really for our benefit. And if we understand, if our Guru is really transcendental and pure, and we understand this, then we should also understand that the chastisement or the punishment of Sri Guru is for our benefit. And it shouldn't cause us to run away. Rather, it should cause us to fall at his feet and beg for mercy and really take shelter. So these two fell at the feet of Narad, weeping, and begged for pardon. They begged for pardon. How can we be delivered? They asked. Narada replied, both of you will become twin Arjuna trees near the house of Nanda Mahārāja in Gokul. At the end of Dvapar Yuga, Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna will deliver you in the course of enacting his childhood pastimes. So I don't even know when this curse was done. Apparently they were playing in the Mandakini river, which is the original Ganga, not even of this world. And Narada Muni cursed them. So I've never heard how long, but he's saying at the end of Dvapara Yuga. Sri Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna will deliver you in the course of enacting his childhood pastimes. Who else waited for a very long time to be the playground of Krishna and his friends and his gopis? Govardhan. Hanuman, in the Manvantar of Sri Ram, that's many yuga cycles back. It wasn't like Ram appeared in this Treta Yuga. I think he appeared in the 8th Manvantar. Does anyone know which Manvantar we're in right now? Means that the time of Manu. Ram appeared in a different Manvantar. So from Treta Yuga just until Dvapara Yuga, the end of Dvapara Yuga is quite a long time. Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Dvapara Yuga, this Dvapara Yuga was 864,000 years. And then I think it's double. Anyhow, it's like 1 million just from Treta Yuga to now. It's so long. But that Treta Yuga of Sri Ram was many millions of years before. Hanuman was carrying Govardhan. And at that time that he was carrying him, he had jumped from the Himalayas toward the south of India, carrying Govardhan to use to make the bridge to Lanka. At the time that he was coming over this area, he heard a voice from the sky. Whatever you have in your hands, you should put down where it is. We have already completed the bridge. So he puts Govardhan down. Where? Where Govardhan is now. He put Govardhan down and Govardhan became upset. I was going to be utilized in the service of Sri Ram. I was going to receive his footprints on my head. And now you have deprived me of this. And he started to become upset, angry. And at that time, Hanuman told him, don't worry. You wait here. I assure you that when Krishna appears in Dvapara Yuga and he performs his pastimes, he will perform all of his most sweet and intimate pastimes in your caves, on your body. All of Krishna's friends and his gopis, everyone will perform their pastimes on you and within your caves. So you just be patient. Then Govardhan was pacified. But what a long time to wait. But this is also the nature of bhakti. No, Krishna left Vrindavan? Not really. But anyhow, a manifestation of Krishna left Vrindavan. And the bhav of the gopis is this vipralamba bhav, this separation mood. They're at Udhav Kyari, and they're only looking in the direction from which Krishna departed. That was the furthest point they had gone. And then Akrur took his chariot with Krishna and Balaram and very quickly around them and went to leave Vrindavan. Those gopis were only looking in that direction, and Krishna had promised them, I will return within 2 days or 4. So, because he said that, they were always waiting for him. In separation, but in constant deep absorption. For the rest of their lives. Waiting because he promised in 2 days or 4 I will return. And of course, more than 2 days, more than 4 days had elapsed. But they were thinking something has delayed him. Something has stopped him. For sure he will come tomorrow. For sure. If he would have told them, I will never return, they would have given up their lives immediately on the spot. But because he said that, they were worried. If he comes here and finds that we are all gone, this will create so much pain in his heart, and we don't want to cause any difficulty for him. So just from that mood, they maintain their lives in their bodies. That they don't want to cause any difficulty to Krishna. So Krishna, he stayed away. I just wanted to share in this context. It was Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He was telling how he's chanting on his japa mala. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Somehow Krishna did not appear to me in this mantra. It must be that somehow he was delayed. For sure he will appear to me. He will give his darshan in the next mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Like that, with that kind of intensity, that kind of focus, that kind of endless hope and enthusiasm, he would go from one beat to the next, to the next, to the next. Asha bandha. This is part of bhava bhakti. Kshantirarvyartakalatvam viraktir manashunyata asha bandha samutkanta namagane sadaruchi. So there's forbearance. It's necessary. Even if every reason is there, still I cannot give up. With great eagerness, with endless hope. That hope, that is our best friend. Asha bandha. Asha means hope, and bandha means bound. This hope is binding me and giving me this drive and samutkanta, great eagerness and taste for Harinam. So all of these things come together to propel us on the path of devotion. So this separation is not a bad thing when it is in the transcendental realm. This mood of separation only increases the internal meeting with Krishna, as we have discussed in so many different pastime places that we've gone to already in Prem Sarovar, other places as well. We have to be careful of what Wiki says, because some people believe that Kali Yuga is only 4,000 years old, or that Kali Yuga will only go for like 4,000 or 5,000 years. But our Shastras and our Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga have said that Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. We have only come 5,000 years in, which means we have another 427,000 years to go. Hare Krishna. At least for this first, from the time of Mahaprabhu for the next 10,000 years, it's supposed to go upward. Means the golden age. And Bhaktivedānta Thakur predicted it as well, that one day, very soon, all of those with religious differences will drop their petty differences and come together under one name. What is that? Brahma Sampradaya. You cannot trademark it because it won't happen like that. It will happen naturally by the preaching of the devotees who are coming under the guidance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by Harinam Sankirtan, and by their, how did Srila Prabhupada say, enough diluting the milk, now it's time to condense it. One pure devotee is sufficient. So those who become purified by their purity, then they will be able to affect the entire world. Okay, so upon hearing the curse of Nara, they fell at his feet and begged forgiveness. How can we be delivered? He said, both of you will come as Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Baba and Gokul, and Krishna will deliver you in the course of enacting his childhood pastimes at the end of Dvapar Yuga. When Sri Krishna remembered his devotee's curse, he was overwhelmed with compassion for the two sons of Kuvera. Mind you, the devotee is the embodiment of Krishna's mercy. So in essence, the idea of the devotee's mercy and Krishna's feeling of compassion, these two cannot really be separated. And so when the devotee is feeling overwhelming compassion and making this curse but this promise, then Krishna's heart cannot help but also feel it. So Krishna himself became overwhelmed with compassion for the two sons of Kuvera. Just to deliver them, he dragged the heavy grinding mortar toward the extremely large Arjuna trees. There's a footnote here. Ancient Arjuna trees grow extremely large. According to Sri Narad's curse, Nalakuvara and Manigriva remained in the form of Arjuna trees for 100 celestial years, or about 15 million earth years. Oh, that's a long time. But with the hope, with the promise of being delivered directly by Krishna and being able to witness all of his pastimes. 15 million years, even though that's an extremely long time, with that assurance, it can also become very short. Who is it? Mukunda. There was one devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was Mukunda. He was actually a childhood friend of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu became upset with him, quite angry. Why? Because Mukunda would go to this group and associate and then take on their moods and conceptions. Then he would go to another group with Mayavadis and take on their moods and conceptions. And then he would go to a different one. Everywhere he went, he would just become like them. And he would not maintain nishta in the true essential teachings of Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu really did not appreciate it. And that's why Mahaprabhu says one should not read too many books with too many different subject matters. It will not allow one to maintain one-pointedness to Krishna. It will distract one from that. It doesn't mean one should not read the books of acharyas or bhakti scriptures, but all of the books, all of the mundane literature, all of the different conclusions on the biggest book in the world, known as Facebook, opposite conclusions, all of this can be a distraction from one's one-pointed ekantic bhakti. So Mahaprabhu, one second. I'm going to have to, one second. I got a 10% battery warning on the iPad. I don't know if it's working. Let's see. Nope. Okay. It's charging now. The biggest book, Facebook. So, I was telling you about Mukunda. So Mahaprabhu, Mukunda wanted to join the kirtan of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to see him. I never want to see him again. Now, this kind of very strong punishment, your own Lord and Master, the beloved of your life, is saying, I never want to see you again. This shouldn't make you walk away downtrodden and give up. It should make tears flow from your eyes and a mood of surrender manifest from your heart. So Mukunda did just that. He heard from the devotees that he doesn't want to see you. And Mukunda just kept asking, when will I receive his darshan? When will I see him? When will I see him? What did Mahaprabhu answer? Tell him you won't see me in 1,000,000 lifetimes. Tell him you won't see me in 1,000,000 lifetimes. What did Mukunda do? He was not like, oh yeah, well, I guess this, well, all right, well, let me just enter the material world and give up then, because this is hopeless. At that point, he fell on the ground and began weeping and weeping in ecstasy. Why? Because Mahaprabhu guaranteed that he would see him. It was 1,000,000 lifetimes. Anyhow, for sure and certain, I will receive his darshan because he gave his word. So he was overwhelmed with ecstasy. And at that point, Mahaprabhu gave his darshan because he had burnt off those millions of lifetimes in that one moment. In this case, these two personalities remained as trees for 15 million earth years. or about 100 celestial years. But what happened? As trees, they were able to witness all of those sweet pastimes of Krishna in the courtyard of Nanda Baba. At that time, even Nanda Baba would wash his mouth and spit at the base of those trees. Many times Krishna was playing around those trees. His friends were playing there, and they witnessed all of those sweet pastimes. When they were liberated, those two ultimately became in the transcendental realm, Snigdhakanta and Madhukanta. Snigdhakanta means affectionate throat. Kanta means voice or throat. And Madhu means honey. So honey throat or honey voice. And really, what is that? They were always glorifying the pastimes of Krishna in the Baitaks. Means in front of the Brajbasis, Nanda Baba and all others. These two personalities were always chanting and singing the glories of Krishna. So they received immense amounts of mercy. So Krishna remembered this curse. He was overwhelmed with compassion for the two sons of Kuvera. Just to deliver them, he dragged the heavy grinding mortar toward the extremely large Arjuna trees with all of his friends. So at that time, they were having fun, dragging this grinding mortar behind. The trees were fused at their base. So it was like two trees coming out of one base. But somehow Krishna passed between them. The grinding mortar, however, became lodged between them. So Krishna was able to pass through, but as he was dragging that grinding mortar behind, which was tied with the ribbon that was used for Mother Yashoda would use to tie her own hair. Finally, after everything, she was finally able to bind Krishna simply with that. But she bound him to this grinding mortar, and he was pulling it behind. He went in between the trees, but the grinding mortar wedged behind those two trees. At that moment, Krishna looked back. What has stopped my progress? What has stopped my fun? At that moment, with a slight glint of anger, what is stopping me from playing with my friends? He glanced back at those trees. So when they became lodged between the trees, as soon as that happened, Krishna tugged at the grinding mortar with some force. The two trees were completely uprooted. At once they began falling over and finally struck the ground, producing a deafening crash. What is essential about this? Krishna glancing back with anger. Remember that Krishna was always playing around these trees, touching them. All of the Brajabasis, Nanda Baba, everyone was there. But all of that time, Krishna was touching them, seeing them, playing around them, playing hide and seek, and everything. Those trees remained as trees. What made it so that they would be liberated, freed from those forms? That moment of anger. What has stopped me from playing with my friends? That one moment. Mind you, Krishna's anger is not like our anger. Also, everything about him is sweet. Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram. Even his killing of demons is sweet. His anger is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Supreme Lord of Sweetness. Madhuradhipater akilam madhuram. So, he glanced at them like that in anger for one moment. And from that, any remainder of anarthas or anything that was holding him in that position immediately dissipated. Krishna tugged on that grinding mortar, and from that, these two trees came crashing down with a deafening sound. From within the ancient trees, two divine personalities emerged. They circumambulated Sri Krishna and submitted prayers in glorification of him. After they begged to be forgiven for their offense, Sri Krishna explained, "It is the unfailing result of seeing Sri Narada that even such rogues as the two of you are able to see me face to face. And the sum total of all of the sins you have committed in your countless births has fled far away from you. May you attain bhav bhakti for me." So the cowherd boys wouldn't have seen or heard this conversation necessarily. This would disrupt their bhav. But Krishna can do anything, accomplish any task. They did see these two beings, and they saw them circumambulating Krishna. But Krishna speaking all of this tattva gyan and everything to these two cowherd boys might have been a little bit concerned what's going on with this. So even when Krishna wanted to swallow the fire, the forest fire, we were there just the other day when we went to, just before Chirgat, we were in Biharvan. And before that, we were in Ramghat. So near Biharvan, in that general area, was where that forest fire was that Krishna swallowed. Just before he swallowed the forest fire, he told all of his friends to close your eyes. Now, they were already there with their eyes open. Why did he tell them to close their eyes? He didn't want to disturb their mood. So he said, close your eyes. And then when they closed their eyes, he swallowed that fire. Otherwise, too much Aishwarya, too much manifestation of Aishwarya can create a mood which is incompatible. So here, Krishna is speaking, this is from the verse, it is due to the mercy of Narada Muni that even you two, who have committed so many thousands and millions of sinful activities, you're able to see me face to face, and the sum total of all of the sins you have committed in your countless births has fled far away from you. May you attain bhav bhakti for me. By Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, they resided in Goloka Vrindavan from that point onward. They became the famous reciters, Madhukanta and Snigdhakanta. So, in different scriptures, we hear different things. One, they took their original forms as demigods. They offered so many prayers to Krishna. They offered pranam to him. They did parikrama of him, circumambulating him. And then they went back to their original positions. Having been there with Krishna's pastimes, witnessing all of these pastimes, and being directly liberated by Krishna and having attained bhav bhakti for him, even if they had to go back physically to those positions, their minds and hearts could never really be there. Their minds and hearts would always be completely absorbed in Krishna. So, in different scriptures, we hear, one, they've gone back to those positions as Nalakuvera Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera, and in other places we hear, in different scriptures, that they became the famous reciters, Madhukanta, Snigdhakanta. Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī writes about this in, Madhav Mahotsav? He has different scriptures and he's written about, and in there he speaks about Madhukanta and Snigdhakanta, and they're also singing about the birth, celebration, and pastimes of Krishna. Thus, as Sri Krishna's special associates, they eternally narrate his unlimited pastimes in the assemblies of Sri Nanda Baba or the Gopis. That which cannot be obtained even after accumulating pious credit for millions of lifetimes can be achieved very quickly by the causeless mercy of Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Sri Hari. Let me read that again. That which cannot be obtained even after accumulating pious credit for millions of lifetimes can be achieved very quickly by the causeless mercy of Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Sri Hari. The devotees who are expert in relishing the loving moods of the Vraja Gopis are the treasure house of Lobhamoy bhakti, or devotion to Krishna that is full of intense longing. Among them, some exemplify one's own desired mood and are affectionate towards oneself. Sajatiya snigdha. If one gets their association, then he should realize that they are the most dear friends of his soul. With his life and soul, he should serve them and endeavor to purchase their mood. So there's a lot. This is like the essence of all of our scriptures, the point, the purpose. This is the practical condensation of what all of our striving as sadhakas, as practitioners on the path of bhakti should be. And I'm reading tons of shlokas. I hear them through these sentences. After accumulating a pious credit for millions of lifetimes, Janma koti shukritar na labhyate. One cannot have Krishna Bhakti Ras even after accumulating pious credits for millions of lifetimes. Pious credits means doing good things in this world. You know, when they say, oh, they're a good person, they give donations to the poor, they give blankets to the widows, they do this, they do that. This is pious credits. Doing anything which someone would consider to be really good or philanthropic in this world. Those are pious credits. Now, if you happen to give that thing to a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna and they feel somewhat affectionately inclined toward you, then you're very, very fortunate. But if we're just, let's say, giving money for the poor people, and I'll give you an example. There was someone who opened up a free eye hospital in Braj, and they invited so many dignitaries to come for this grand opening. And one of the dignitaries was our Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So this eye hospital, the purpose was to help repair people's eyes. They were doing laser surgery, this and that, cataract surgery, for free to help people see. And everyone, one after another, was getting up and glorifying, wow, what a wonderful thing you are doing, giving free eye help to everyone. And then our Gurudev, it was his turn to speak. And he said, it is a very nice thing that you are doing, but we should be careful. It may be that someone was a murderer, and due to providence, they have lost their vision. And now you will repair their vision, and again they will become a murderer. So now you're implicated in that karma by your pious endeavor. So we should be very careful how we step, how we walk in this world. So our Gurudev gave it a little bit of grounding. And this is quite an essential kind of thing to understand, that everything we do in this world, whether it's in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, is binding in karma. Everything is binding in karma. Krishna says, whatever you do, I'm trying to remember that other verse. Everything that you do, if you do not do it as an offering to me, you are barely, like if you eat something, it is only sin. Everything that you do, eat, offer, give away, whatever you do in charity, you should do as an offering to me. And even then, this mood is not considered 100% pure bhakti, because still we're thinking, I'm the doer, I'm doing this, and then I'm offering the results to Krishna. So Rai Ramananda, when he told this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Rai Ramananda Samvad, Mahaprabhu said, that's external, go deeper, go further. Right? Yat karoshi, irashnashi, yat johosi, dadasya, yat tapasyasya kaunteya, tat kurushvam madarpanam. So Mahaprabhu says, yes, but go further. Even past sarvadharman parityaja, go further. More than that. So Rai Ramananda was giving more and more evidence to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about what is pure bhakti, not mixed bhakti. So, yes, surely if the murderer gets his eyes fixed, that's also his karma. But now, the person who fixed it is now implicated. So they're also bound to that person's karma. That's how karma works. It is a sticky, sticky mess. It's like a fly in a spider's web. Any way he turns, he only sticks himself further. That's how karma works. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Sarva dharman parityajya. Dharman means all of our karmas, all of our obligations, everything that we've done. Just surrender to me exclusively, and I will free you from all of these bindings. Moksha yashyami. Ma shuchaha. You have my word. So Krishna is telling like that, but even that is motivated by becoming, or for becoming free from the bondages of karma, or the reactions, the simple reactions that may be accrued by giving up one's moral obligations in this world. I don't want to suffer the results, so Krishna is saying, I will free you from that. If we approach Krishna with the desire of becoming free from that, then that is not pure bhakti, that is rather mishra or mixed devotion, because I want freedom from the sins or the reactions of my actions. So to approach Krishna like that cannot be considered pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is only what is exclusively for Krishna, for his happiness, pleasure, benefit, and what is favorable to him, without expecting anything in return. It's a very high level of love and devotion. That my nature is to love you, and no matter what, it will only increase, even if you give me every reason for it to break. That is the definition of prema, divine transcendental love and affection. So we have our conditionings at this moment, but we should understand that everything that we're doing in this world, if it is not actually our direct intention to serve and please Krishna, then it can be binding in karma. Whereas if one is doing everything for the service of Krishna, then even if something happens, let's say you're pulling the chariot of Lord Jagannath. What is the mood? It is the mood of the gopis bringing Krishna to Vrindavan on the chariot of their heart, pulling these ropes. This is their mood, their sentiment of love and affection. We're bringing Krishna to Vrindavan. And in the process of pulling that chariot, someone or something gets run over. Now, ordinarily, people can say, hey, you did this, you ran over that person. Therefore, you are bound in the karma of this. But if the intention was purely to serve Krishna for his happiness, pleasure, and benefit, bringing him to Vrindavan, and you are in that mindset and heart position, then there is no negative consequence for that. Rather, that person or that being which was run over attains also a supremely high destination. So depending on the context, if one is doing something but without Krishna in the center, only philanthropic work, then it is still binding in this world because it is still within the realm of the three gunas. Tribhir gunamayar bhavaya. Within the three modes of material nature, it is all binding in this world, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Beyond that is sattva, shuddha sattva, transcendental. And that is a completely different thing. That is beyond the mundane conception. That's why it is essential for us to be under the guidance of the pure devotees so that they can help to free us from our tendency of superimposing the mundane or the material activities onto the transcendental. Oh, I'm doing this activity and then I'm going to say, yes, this is pure devotional service. But it might not be. And they can help us. So in this statement of our Srila Gurudev, if we're not pure devotees, we will be implicated by karma, but if we're taking shelter of those pure devotees and endeavoring to follow them and crying at their feet for mercy, that we also want to develop a mood like they have to love and serve Krishna, then by their mercy, those karmas can be kept very far away. Sometimes it is said that when a devotee or anyone comes to the path of bhakti, at that time, even because one namabhas means one semblance or shadow of the holy name has been chanted at one point or another, all previous karmas, prarabdha karmas, bij, the seeds of any future karma, all of those things are in essence washed away. But because only from the human form can one actually complete their progress or their process of endeavoring for perfection, Krishna mercifully keeps us bound in forms as humans, experiencing a semblance of what appears to be karma. But from the devotee's perspective, we shouldn't think, I'm above it, I'm beyond it, so whatever's coming to me, I'm good, like that. Rather, the devotee in humility will think that I am the most sinful person and I am suffering the results of all of my previous lifetimes. And from that point of humility, they will pray and cry out. You see all of the greatest pure devotees. Even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's saying that, oh, I am the most sinful person. I'm more sinful than Jagai and Marai, and I'm lower than a worm in stool. And yet he's praying for mercy. Bhaktivedānta Thakur is feeling himself so low. Asurak sakala pailo charana vinoda thakilo boshi. Even the demons have attained liberation. Even the demons have attained liberation by your mercy. So please be merciful to me. Am I the only one who is bereft? So you see their moods of deep humility as they're expressing them. So in this statement, it's so deep that it can actually be gone through for ages. But one of the main expressions in here is from Rupa Goswami's Essence of All Advice. Tannava Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasanam Anasindi Yojya Tishthan Brajetad Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayad Akilam Ityubadesha Saram. What is he saying is the essence of all advice. One should always reside in the association of, that means serving and taking the moods and the conceptions of the real Brajavasis, the eternal associates of Krishna. In Vrindavan, Tishtham Braje Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Being under their guidance, then we can also be protected from our own material desires, because we've placed ourselves under their care so they can detect when we are going off on the manoratena, the chariot of our own minds. They can detect that and adjust us and pull us back to the proper path. And what should we do in their association? Always residing in Vrindavan. Now Vrindavan, there's physical Vrindavan, but really Vrindavan is at the feet of the pure devotee, where you will hear Harikatha, the glories of Krishna, always. And what would we do in their association? Tannama, Rupa, Charita, Adi, Sukirtananu. Always remembering and glorifying Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and so forth, with deep absorption. Sukirtananu. Smrityo Kramena. Remembering these pastimes in sequence, what we have heard from the pure Vaishnavas. And gradually, as we are progressing in our bhakti, they will spontaneously flow. Gurudev said, like a waterfall. Unstoppable. The pastimes will just be flowing constantly. This is Sva-rasiki Upasana. There's Mantramayi Upasana, which is like right now we're reading Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, and we're remembering it according to the way it is told by our Gurudev and Guru Varga. What is given in the scripture, we see it, we've heard it, we remember it, we repeat it. This is like mantra mayi upasana. It is, I want to use the word in a way, it is that same pastime in the same way every time. But Svarasiki Upasana, you will be having darshan of Krishna's pastimes as they are flowing, and there might be some variation in them as they're flowing. It'll follow the basic general script, but still, again and again, they will be flowing constantly. There will be no need for us to make that endeavor, in essence. The pastimes will be making their own flow into our hearts. So, deep absorption. So, smrityo remembrance, kramena, in sequence, rasanam manasini yoja, tasting that nectar within the mind and within the heart constantly. Tishtam prajetad anuragi jananagami, kalam nayed, akilamit yubadesha saram. Kalam nayed means without cessation, constantly, 24 hours a day, without anything else. This is the essence of all advice. And in this statement by Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta, Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he's stating that who should we take shelter of? Not just anyone, but who has that mood that our own Atma needs. What is inside? What is the nature of this soul, the seed in essence? What is my potential? I will take the association of those who have that similar mood, who can nourish what this is inside. Now, sometimes it is said, for what we are longing, what we ourselves want. But what do we really want? We want what is in our nature. Otherwise, it is something which is artificial or foreign. So please awaken me to who I am. This is the first verse of Śrī Satyavrata. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadabhagni nirvapanam. When one cleanses the mirror of the mind or the heart, what will they see? They will see the real them. Not this external body or mind or intelligence or false ego, but the true me, the true ego, who I am in my eternal relationship with Krishna. So self-realization will manifest, and also naturally, from there, God-realization will manifest, and my relationship with Bhagavan. These will manifest as a result of taking shelter of the holy names of Krishna in the association of Krishna's pure devotees. And this one term here, Gurudev says, Sajatiya Snigdha. So Sajatiya means like-minded. Like-minded doesn't mean like my mind. It means like my Atma. Who has that bhav that will nourish the nature of my soul into its perfection. And not only that, but Snigdha. Snigdha means with affection. In such a way that we feel, yes, I can open my heart and I can receive what they want to give. I can learn from them and I want to submit because I have full trust that they will take my heart and bring it to perfection.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes, of course.
Because Devaki is saying, surely if someone gets their eyes fixed, then that's their karma. And I just wanted to point something out that might be hard to take, but Srila Gurudev once was in Badger, and in Badger a horse impaled itself. And the devotees went to Srila Gurudev and said, Srila Gurudev, what we do in the West when an animal is hurt like this and dying slowly, we kill it, you shoot it to put it out of its pain and its misery. So can we do that? And Srila Gurudev was so adamant that no, do not get involved. He said, if you kill this animal, he will have to come back and finish going through that pain, and you will now be implicated in the karma of killing. So what we think is mercy and what we think may be the right thing to do is actually prolonging pain and suffering for both jivas or all involved. This is why Gurudev was saying that we should just be very mindful and careful of what we do. And if we do everything as an offering to Guru and Krishna, then if we make any mistakes, if we do anything wrong, as Kishori Mohan was saying, then Guru will correct it. Krishna will help us. But if we on our own make such grave decisions and do these things without guidance, then we're binding ourselves, as he said, like in a web that we can never get out of, as we've done since time immemorial. I know it's a hard thing to hear, but Srila Gurudev was adamant. He said, you give it water, you can feed it, chant to it, sit outside and do kirtan, but don't kill it. it needs to go through this to release it from its karma, and you should not get involved. So give it mercy by giving it harinam, give it prasadam, help it to leave. Don't get involved. So
how does that apply to, let's say, a human who might step on something and cut their foot or get really sick? Do we not get involved? Do we not bring them to a doctor? Do we not bandage it? Let them suffer?
Yeah, but that's different. I'm just saying that, you know, like when I was on Parikrama and I got hurt, people ran to help me and pushed me on my way. It wasn't like with attachment, and it wasn't, I don't know, we're always told to be careful, not to give money to someone who's going to go out and get drunk. Give them prasadam. Give them something that will be beneficial, that will help them in the long run. Of course, it's natural to try to help someone, but we should be careful. We should be under guidance.
I think that's the point there, under guidance.
Yes, we should be careful. That's all. I was just bringing that up as a point that I know it sounds a bit shocking, but that's what happened.
It's so much actually to consider. Thank you for sharing that, Sudevi. It was very essential. There's so much to consider when it comes to these points. And ultimately, especially on the path of bhakti, it is essential that we are under guidance. Otherwise, it is easy for a conditioned soul who has the tendency to make mistakes, to come under illusion, to have imperfect senses, and to cheat others, because that's the nature of conditioned souls, these 4 defects, to follow the path of making mistakes. That's why it must be that we are under the guidance of those who are devoid of those tendencies. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that the all-seeing, all-knowing, pure devotees are devoid of these 4 defects. So if we want to be able to make progress toward the infinite absolute, then we must take shelter of the manifestation of the infinite absolute on this plane, and that is Sri Guru and the pure Vaishnavas. Then we can be in a safe and secure situation. Otherwise, on my own, I don't know. I have no strength. I cannot free myself by my own accord. Maya mukta jivanahi svata Krishna gyan. The conditioned soul, by his own effort, cannot extract or extricate himself from the bondage of Maya. So Krishna very mercifully sends his pure devotees to give us transcendental knowledge and to help us to become free from this bondage of the material world.
Okay, Devaki.
Kishori Didi, regarding this Chaito Darpana Marjanam, if you read the commentary in our Gurudev's Śrī Satyavrata Muni, it's actually many different commentaries of different acharyas, but in there Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur speaks about this particular subject, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. And that's one of the proofs or the verifications from Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, which was utilized in the discussion about Jiva Tattva in our Param Gurudev's biography, Acharya Keshari. There's a section near the end called Shri Gurudev and the Svarup of the Jiva. In there, that particular discussion by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur was referenced because there Bhaktivedānta Thakur is showing that when we clean the mirror of the heart, we will see us, the real us, not this external thing, which means that the real us is already present within. It's not something that is superimposed on nothing from the outside. There is already an essential us, and Bhaktivedānta Thakur makes it clear again and again and again. And his proof for that is this first verse of Śrī Satyavrata Chaito Darpana Marjanam. So it's very interesting how it really all connects together in such a beautiful way. Bhaktivedānta Thakur left no stone unturned when he was trying to explain and refine all of these points of tattva and siddhanta to us. It's there in Jaiva Dharma. It's there in his explanations to Śrī Satyavrata. It's there in our Param Gurudev's biography. And it's really there through all of our scriptures. So now it's getting quite late. Thank you very much. Śrīla Gurudev ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Rupana Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
So
thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga. Also, we feel extremely indebted and grateful to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. And we look forward to being with all of you tomorrow Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear
Hare Krishna,
Vaishnavas.
Radhe Radhe,
Radhe Radhe.
Radha Vino Bihari Ju
Ki
Ki Jai,
Jai.
Sachinandana Gaura Hari.